From the West Community Stadium in Fenton, Missouri, a crucial game in the USL Championship as St. Louis hosts Lou City. Tonight's game presented by the Cheshire Inn and LHM Hotel. Sean St. Jacques, Eric Dobransky alongside. Eric, it doesn't get much bigger than this. The last Kings Cup meeting between St. Louis and Lou City. Playoffs on the line, the cup is on the line, and St. Louis needs 3 points tonight to have a good shot at staying in this thing.
As soon as this season kicked off, everybody looked at Group E and saw how loaded it was, and it really has been, and it's going to come down to these last final two games.
St. Louis, with a win, keeps their hopes very much alive. If Indy 11, though, wins at the weekend, St. Louis is out if they don't get a win tonight. So that shows you how big this one is. This was the previous meeting in Louisville, and it was all Lou City, a 3-0 win, and it was all that front three from John Hackworth's bunch that really did the damage.
And definitely a game that St. Louis is going to want to forget, and they will forget, because this series is 1-1-1, so nobody has the edge, and like you mentioned, anybody can take this Kings Cup rivalry tonight.
Jason Johnson getting on the score sheet as well for Lou City in a 3-0 victory. As we take a look at tonight's player to watch, brought to you by Bacardi, Russell Cicerone. Not talked about as much as some of the other frontline members for St. Louis, but 2 goals in his last 2 games, Eric, and now he's the joint leading goal scorer on the team.
Goal against Indy 11 on Wednesday when their 1-1 draw, really a crucial point on the road. Tied with Tyler Blackwood with the team leading goals, 5. But not only does he create goals and score goals, he really helps that team defend.
This guy does that as well. Camber Lancaster, our player to watch tonight for Lou City. He's been on fire at the moment for John Hackworth's bunch.
9 goals, leads the team. He's so dynamic in several aspects of the game. 2 goals against Memphis. He can get you in the counter. He can get you in possession. He's just so good on and off the ball.
Going to be interesting to see him tonight as well. So much on the line in Missouri tonight. The winner wins the Kings Cup. St. Louis needs to win to stay alive. Don't go anywhere. St. Louis, Lou City. It's coming up next.
This year we developed Ale d'Or, which is a beer brewed exclusively for the St. Louis Football Club. We've been partners with STLC for coming up on 3 years now. St. Louis Football Club got some Schlafly, call out our Luligan friends on the side. You'll be able to find Ale d'Or obviously out at Soccer Park and then at your local grocery in and around St. Louis, so we're really excited to get it out there in the market. We're excited to debut it in 16-ounce cans for the upcoming season.
When you need quality electrical work for your home or business, look to theelectricalconnection.org. Created as a partnership between IBEW Local 1 electricians and the St. Louis chapter of the National Electrical Contractors Association, the Electrical Connection has been setting the standard for electrical excellence in St. Louis for over 100 years. You can depend on our highly skilled and trained workforce, your #1 source for quality electrical and communication contractors, electricalconnection.org.
Sean St. Jacques, Eric Dobransky back here with you, getting you set for this big one between St. Louis FC and Louisville City FC. Group E tilt with a ton on the line in the Kings Cup. Of course, the winner takes it. And, of course, St. Louis needs to win to stay alive for the playoffs. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Schlafly. We start with the St. Louis side of things, Eric, and, of course, a bit of a change because of the 2 red cards the last meeting with Indy 11.
Yeah, no Wharton, no Fink. With those 2 out, they opt to go with a 4-3-3 and enter a Bend and Richard Bryan, but really look for Wall-Fall to make an important impact here in midfield, and then Cicerone, Gregg, and Dakers up front.
Of course, Blackwood makes way there. Interesting to see how that dynamic plays up top for Lou City. On the other side of things, you were telling me before we came on the air, Speedy Williams kind of dropping back and being that defensive midfielder and putting passes together could be crucial tonight.
He does such a good job for being consistent and being accurate, playing from deep positions. So really look for him. And then he makes late runs in the attack. So they have such a dynamic attacking presence from him as well.
Come back here, live scenes here in Fenton, Missouri, as the USL Championship continues its message of united against racism.
Thank you.
Both teams take their sides here at the West Community Stadium. Let's take a look at tonight's keys to the game, brought to you by Greenlight. Eric, a couple of keys here, obviously energy and passion at the beginning, but a couple others that St. Louis really need to keep an eye on.
I think they have to make play predictable defensively, St. Louis does, because Lou City is so dynamic in the attack, in transition, wide spaces in possession. They really need to be disciplined defensively and really need to choose where on the field they feel comfortable with Lou City finding space, and then offensively find positive moments in transition. St. Louis has several dynamic players themselves. You want to hear, everybody talks about the Lou City front three and how good they are scoring goals, but this St. Louis team only has one goal less than Lou City overall with 20 goals, and 16 of those 20 goals coming here at home.
St. Louis in their home greens kick us off. A huge matchup in Group E in the USL Championship. For St. Louis, it's simple. A win tonight keeps their hopes alive for the playoffs. A draw or less, and Indy 11 would have to drop points against Sporting KC2 in their next match to keep them alive for the final day of the regular season. Also on the line, a first ever Kings Cup title between these two. Since 2015, Lou City and St. Louis have contested the Kings Cup. St. Louis has never won it. They've only beaten Lou City twice. Lou City has won the cup every year. If St. Louis wins tonight, they win the cup for the first time ever in the club's final season in existence. If Lou City wins tonight, they win the cup and they win the group as well. A point would do that for them as well. A point would do that for Lou City for the cup because they have a 2-goal differential on the plus side over St. Louis this season. That 3-0 win in Lou City gives them that advantage. So a ton on the line for both teams. Both coaches were fired up about the match. When we talked to them earlier this week, they couldn't wait, and we can't wait to see what happens in this one. Lou City and their road whites clear it away, and they reset in the midfield as Lancaster loses out to Fanuel Kavita with a header. A chance for Rivas, and foul is called against St. Louis. Paolo Del Piccolo, the captain, got a foot in there first for Lou City.
And like you mentioned, the opening exchanges here are going to be so important and so interesting just from the mere fact that, like you mentioned, Lou City's doesn't really need to chase the 3 points, whereas in St. Louis does need the 3 points. But both coaches really emphasized that they each had to match each other's enthusiasm, passion, energy for this match tonight.
In 3 meetings this season between these two. St. Louis won the first meeting against Lou City in Lou City. It was their first ever win in Louisville over Lou City. It was a 1-0 win. Tyler Blackwood scored the winner. It was 1-1 here. The second meeting, Warsam equalized after Sean Tosh opened the scoring in the first half, and then we mentioned in the open the 3-0 win for Lou City at home in the third meeting. This is the 4th and decisive meeting in the Kings Cup, and of course, so much on the line for the group as well, especially for St. Louis, knowing they have to catch Indy 11 if they want to get into the playoffs this season after coming so close, within a playoff spot, within a spot of the playoffs a season ago. Early attack here for Lou City. Possible drag back in the penalty area. Referee waves it away, and it's easy for the goalkeeper, Kyler Morton. Kyle Morton had a funny moment in the Indy 11 game. Coach Steve Tritchie was telling us more about it. He had cramps in the second half in Lucas Oil Stadium. And as Coach Steve Tritchie put it to us, they were happy he was okay after they gave him a little bit of shtick afterwards in the locker room. And obviously one of the positives from that game as well, St. Louis fans got to travel to the game and they were in loud voice as St. Louis held on for 15 minutes with 9 men to get a crucial point. Here's Wall Fall. Russell Cicerone, who scored in that Indy 11 game. Manuel Cavina plays it all the way back. The captain for St. Louis had a couple of crucial moments for him this season defensively, and of course had the late equalizer to snatch a point from Sporting KC2 here earlier in the season.
And when we talked to Coach Tritchu this week, you think sometimes when a team maybe gives up a 1-0 lead, especially when you are out there seeking 3 points against an Indy 11 side, he only talked about the positive momentum that it was gonna bring his side tonight, and it wasn't necessarily a surprise, but it was really nice to hear that, and really he was very positive about his team's performance, leaving with 1 point and really looking forward to this matchup against Lou City.
Couple of passes there in the midfield for Corbin Bone, who's been a really big bright spot for Lou City over the last couple of weeks. I remember talking to John Hackworth earlier this week, and obviously he was talking to us about how good Camber Lancaster has been in the last 3 games for him, 4 goals. It's a reason we highlighted him at the top, but Openo has done what Bone has done. The depth of attack that Lou City always possesses. Obviously, some nights you have Jason Johnson available, not available tonight, but you've had him at the disposal at times, and he scored a goal against St. Louis this season as well. So never ceases to have too many options for John Hackworth's team. Nice move by Cicerone to find Greg. Now it's Rivas moving into space here for St. Louis. It's a lovely ball out wide. Opportunity here for the home side. Kadeem Dakers onto his left boot. Sends it over the top. That's what St. Louis can do when they get into transition like that, and Kadeem Dakers squanders an opportunity.
And that's what St. Louis is going to want to continue to do throughout the match. Pick those moments where they can open up the game. You know, maybe Rivas wants to find Dakers a little sooner there, but once Dakers got it, he knew where he was going. He was going inside, putting it on his left foot.
There was a collision there in the midfield. Looks like Gaia Bend went up for it, as did, I think, Camber Lancaster, who's still down here for Lou City. Might have been a head-to-head there. Have a look at it here, Eric.
Players going up. Looks like Lancaster just got the aftermath. Caught a little bit of a forearm.
And the ball, it looks like, as well. Not necessarily the head, but in the end, it was just the ball. And then, he said, Gaia Ben trying to shoulder him out of the way. Good to see that Lancaster's okay to continue. There's Sean Tosh, who scored here earlier this season to give Lou City a 1-0 lead, the number 4 in white. Only to have Moore Sam equalize in the second half, and that game finished 1 apiece. Tosh over the top, easy for Kyle Morton. Moore Sam back in the 18th tonight after missing a few games with an injury. We're St. Louis are without Oscar Umar for the rest of the season after he had surgery earlier this week, and he's so crucial for what St. Louis has done, but they've continued to push on without him. Gagnola Pere also out for the season as well. Excuse me, at least out for tonight. Coach didn't tell us whether or not he was out for the season, but he is out for tonight. They're buccaneering left back from Canada. Here's Paris G. Lovely central pass for Joaquin Rivas. Dakers. Ball into the penalty area, deflected towards Cicerone. Miscue with the goalkeeper, and Lunt was lucky there that nobody was at his back post, and it's cleared out for a St. Louis throw.
Such a quality overlapping run from Bryant. Good hold-up play. Really was able to get him in, but it starts with a good switch of the point by Paris G.
Omby does really well to win it back for Lou City, and Lancaster opens it up onto this far side here. Bakers gets back to slow things down. There's Del Piccolo, Omby. Deflected as it went into the penalty area, while Fall places it out. It's a corner kick for Lou City.
And those are going to be the moments defensively that St. Louis is really going to have to be really good in their 18-yard boxes. When that ball gets wide for Lou City, they commit so many numbers and so many different layers to that 18-yard box that they're going to have to be very disciplined with picking up runners, late runners, near post, far post. So throughout this 90 minutes, defending those wide areas is going to be crucial.
Towards the near post, cleared easily at the near post by Kyle Gregg. Out for a throw. Kyle Gregg was so distressed when he had that deflection in the Sporting KC2 game about a week ago now, when his attempted clearance went right into the path of Sporting KC2's front nine. They scored to make it 2-2 here in a game that St. Louis had to win, but Sam Fink not in the lineup tonight. Scored the winner. Free kick given here. Questionable if you're a St. Louis player. Puts Camber Lancaster on the turf and puts him in a good position to strike at goal as well. So we'll take another look.
Really unfortunate here to be given this call. Really puts Lou City in a good position to strike first here in this match. It really looks like St. Louis did a great job of bottling up Lancaster there.
Steve Tritchew's expression there tells you all you need to know about what he thinks about it. You hear the encouragement coming from the sideline. You got to move on to the next thing and defend the set piece. It's been part of this strong mentality that St. Louis has had throughout this entire season. The way they've fought through so many things. Again, everyone has. It's been an season unlike any other. But for St. Louis, it feels like there's been a few more added to the bunch, and they've handled it so well as a team, and they continue to try to do that here with this set piece. Del Piccolo's over it. Lancaster will set up to take it. It hits Gregg right in the chest, and the wall does its job. Now can Dakers break out? He was held back here, but he runs away with it. Referee plays advantage. Lancaster pokes it into the path of Rivas here. He has to go alone. It's Rivas, and it's saved by Lund. And Toast will bring it away for Lou City. What a counterattack that was. And Gregg uses his extra burst there to keep it down this end.
And you
look at a
tell,
great sequence here.
Yeah, and there was a number of opportunities for the referee to blow his whistle, but he went with advantage. And Rivas there with the opportunity. Really good counterattack from St. Louis there. Dakers doing a tremendous job.
No, you need to direct.
Gregg with the overhead boot. It's going to roll all the way to Lund. In the end, it's easy for Lou City. That almost created a second opportunity for St. Louis. Did last night's cleaning crew drop the ball? Call the pros at Jandy King for a free cleaning quote and get the winning service you deserve. Camber Lancaster almost provided some service for Joaquin Rivas there. On the end, it was a good save by Lund. Rivas was in almost by himself, basically. You saw that extra effort from Kyle Gregg as well, showing you the early intensity that St. Louis has brought to the table tonight and has continually brought to the table during the run-in at the end of this USL Championship season.
Yeah, it's always tough on those counterattacks. Once Lancaster hit that wall and Dakers went on the run, Rivas really not at a great angle to take a shot, but it's really difficult with those counterattacks off set pieces to get numbers in the attack. So really nobody there far post for Rivas to play across.
Here's McMahon for Lou City. Ownby got his first goal of the season against Memphis 901 last time out. McMahon. Speedy Williams now gets it back. St. Louis forces Lou City back towards the halfway line for a moment.
And you can really see St. Louis's intent with not allowing Lou City to play wide. You can almost see that line drop into almost a back five, trying to prevent any wide services, any balls played wide.
I got a good touch there. It almost weaseled its way through to Kavita, but Kavita, in the process of almost losing his armband, won the ball. Harris G pushed off the ball, and it's a free kick for St. Louis. And that was Brian Ownby backtracking that time.
I know it's early, but I like what St. Louis is doing right now. They're sitting in, they're defending well. Now obviously causing Ownby to get an early yellow card here. they're finding, once they win the ball, they're finding good pockets of space and seams to really beat Lou City in transition. The only thing that you're gonna have to continue to see is that they have to continue to be disciplined in those matchups.
It looks like Omby was actually booked for that challenge as well. Cicerone runs over. Good ball in by Rivas. Surely a goal. It's in from Greg, but it's offside. Soon as it was touched by Dakers, you could hear the appeals, and the flag went immediately up on the far side.
Yeah, you could tell those runs left just a tad bit early. Whenever you have that secondary service where the first one is a decoy run, the timing is always so important.
Here's Cicerone. Good ball in towards Greg, and it was knocked away by Tosh. St. Louis will recycle with Kavita. And Awale really helped as well. That last defensive sequence for St. Louis before the break was on for Paris G. Gives it away that time for a Lou City throw, although it actually took a little nick, so it's going to be a St. Louis throw. St. Louis has had the energetic start they were hoping for. They did put the ball into the back of the net, but it was offside. Bryan wins it back for St. Louis. And the connection there between Dakers and Bryan breaks down. Here come Lou City. Omby hit it right between the numbers on the back of his kit, but he controls. And a reset from Corbin Bone.
This allowed St. Louis to get numbers behind the ball again, really get shape, do what Coach Trichu talked about earlier this week, get compact, really push Lou City into space that they're uncomfortable playing in. The thing with St. Louis is this center back, obviously Sean Tosh, does a tremendous job of getting the attack as well, so eventually in this game he might start stepping forward.
Here's Omby for Lou City. Lofts it into the penalty area. Bryan, though, got there first, did really well. Clears it only as far as Bone. Bryan goes right back to work there, deflected now towards Speedy Williams, given away to St. Louis as Rivas mishit his pass, but it goes to Cicerone. Lovely ball for Dakers here. He has Greg up with him to his left. Rivas joins the pack. Here come more St. Louis attackers. And the ball is placed behind everybody. Omby now does really well to find McMahon, who's fouled by Paris G.
What a ball in there by Cicerone. I mean, we talk about him and his latest form with 2 goals in 2 games. Way to recognize that that ball was kind of played through the midfield, a little flat, and he saw Dakers making a run for it. You just wish Dakers could have put a little bit better of a service in there in the end.
We saw that track star speed also from Kadeem Dakers on display as well. Not everybody in the USL Championship gets to that ball. He's one that can. Nearly set something up in the middle.
You're absolutely right. I was waiting for Lund to come out of goal.
Yeah. And Dakers takes the place of Blackwood tonight. This ball's played in behind towards Bone as Adewale is tested for St. Louis defensively. Trying to hold off Opano here. Does well. Although Opano skates past him to find some space here for Lou City. Does really well. But Wall falls there to help, and it's out for a throw-in. Well, Antoine Opano looked dead to rights there for a moment, but he used his skill to win a throw-in after he saw Wall fall elicit his help defensively.
This is really a team in Lou City that's playing well. And when we talked to Coach Hackworth this week, we talked about the consistency, but he was like, we had to play this way because they had dug themselves a little bit of a hole at the beginning of the season.
Good ball in. Lancaster tried to control it. G there in the right spot at the right time to clear it and find Kyle Gregg on a run out here for St. Louis. Gregg keeps on going here, not much help with him. Him and Tosh now grappling over it, and Tosh wins the battle. It's one of the underrated parts of Kyle Gregg's game, I think, at times. People talk about his clinicalness in front of goal. He can really hold up the play, and by himself there almost created an opportunity, although it was a fantastic ball from Harris G over the top. Earn, save, spend, and learn with Greenlight, the debit card to kids that parents manage by app. Sign up today at greenlightcard.com and get 1 month free. Here's Cicerone for St. Louis. Gregg is up ahead. If he can find him, he gets it to him. Laid back towards Cicerone, who goes down. It falls for Dakers. Dakers shoots. It's blocked, and he regains. Here's Brian. Dakers. To Brian, across the goal mouth, and cleared away by Tosh.
Such a good sequence by St. Louis. Finding Dakers deeper into that half. Trying to get him on his left foot right there in that final third.
Another ball back in, the header is down, it's in, but the flag is up against Kyle Gregg. What a finish. But he's been deemed to be offside, it looks like.
And even though they've had 2 goals called offside, it really is a credit to St. Louis finding these seams in between the center backs and the defenders of Lou City. This is going to continue to pose a problem for Lou City. You know, these runs by these front 3 by St. Louis, they're really finding interesting gaps to expose.
Homby made some good progress, but didn't find space, so leaves it for McMahon. Here's Speedy Williams. Slipped as he crossed the ball, but it's perfect. It's on a dime, as if he meant to do that. Centering pass for Lancaster, who was well attended to, just outside the penalty area. Good ball in by Lancaster, but nobody there for Lou City. And it's easy in the end for Kyle Morton.
And again, you could see Lou City struggling to break down St. Louis in that final third. You could see they hit almost the top of the 18, and then they have to go backwards. But it's balls like the one that Speedy Williams played over the top there that's going to unlock some of those moments.
Lovely turn by Cicerone. Gregg could be in here for St. Louis. It's Kyle Gregg. Centering pass, and it's just touched off the line, I think, by Williams. Thought Kyle Gregg might have taken it on there for a moment. Nearly set up the chance.
Rivas was going into the 18-yard box, just overran it just a little bit.
McMahon. Homby. Towards Lancaster. Give and go back to Lancaster at Awale. Shuffles him off of it. Says the referee was a fair challenge. And the ball over the top side of reach of Kyle Gregg. We saw it earlier. Coach Steve Tritchu mentioned it a lot this week in the build-up. Making sure when Camber Lancaster's in space, we're all over him. Don't give him any time on the ball. Don't give him a chance to find a pass. Saw it 2 possessions ago when he was swallowed whole outside of the penalty area, but that time Lancaster nearly broke through, but Adewale was there defensively for St. Louis.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Coach Tritchu said we had to defend wide areas and find Camber Lancaster. Those were the two phases of play that were really important defensively.
And back by Greg. Here's Kavita. G to Cicerone. That's good stuff for this man. Harris G so far. Tried to scamper past a couple of Lou City defenders. It falls for a bend. Cicerone, who's shown that he's been really good in tight spaces as far as controlling the ball. Wins a throw for St. Louis on the near side. A bend, the Israeli international, switches fields to Anawale. Wall fall. Certainly can pick out a pass. Here's a bend. Cicerone, 2 goals in his last 2 appearances. Has options. Rivas. What's he going to do here? Rivas takes it on. Like a deflection, and it's out for a corner for St. Louis.
Yeah, like even what we mentioned with Speedy Williams in the open, wall fall does that so well for St. Louis, unlocking space, unlocking dangerous areas from deep space. So really, that matchup, and then I really like what Rivas has done here early in the game. He's finding late runs. He's really examining, scanning the field, seeing where that space opens, really working well with that front 3.
Cicerone told to leave Rivas to it on this near side. Corner kick brought to you by Schnucks is whipped in. It's a good chance here. The header is headed off the line, I think by Ownby. Kavita shot is blocked. It falls out for another chance. And a bend bends it over the top. Everything but the back of the net for St. Louis.
Quality opportunities after the first service. Rivas sends it in, really going to the back of the net if it weren't for the deflection out, and then a number of chances right here. And I like the thought by a bend on that last one, just kind of try to see if he can chip it over Lund.
St. Louis keeps asking the questions in this first half. And like you said, Eric, the chances are coming. And again, remember, 2 goals have gone in. They just haven't counted due to offside. Both for Kyle Gregg. Cicerone to Gregg. Tried to find Cicerone again. It only as far as wall fall. Here's Brian assessing his options. Looking into the penalty area. Rivas, I think, was the one that went down. The referee didn't even give it a second look. And Lou City play on. Here come Lou City. And that passes, it's offside actually on the far side. Openo not happy with the decision. That's a mistake you don't normally see from Lou City. It's easily given back to St. Louis here. The referee's got that right. That's a rare, unforced error by Lou City. Call the team at Courtney's Heating and Cooling today so you can sleep in comfort tonight. Call 636-36-COMFY. Going into the path of Rivas, off a deflection. And Lund was there, out of his net for Lou City to gobble it up. Here's McMahon. Lovely ball out wide for Openo. Excuse me, actually, now it's Openo. It was played in towards him. And it's cleared away by Adewale. Really got up towards Greg. Tosh had to get over there and keeps it in. Does a really good job. All played towards the penalty area. Kavita there defensively to keep it away from Lancaster. Calls for Ownby, who gets past wall fall. It's Ownby, and it's deflected off of the crossbar and over the top by Morton. Although the referee, I think, says there was no touch from Morton, so it's a goal kick. Best chance of the day for Lou City so far.
And those are the moments that you're going to have to be careful of, because they're dropping into their own 18-yard box, and Ownby gets his head up, squares up right towards goal, and St. Louis very fortunate that it catches that crossbar. because that seemed to be dipping right underneath.
Great look by our crew here. Morton didn't get a touch to it. It swerved away from him and nearly went into the back of the net. Lovely touch here by Cicerone to set things up. Rivas to aim at as long as he stops his run. Kyle Gregg was there as well. It was blocked away by McMahon. And Ownby clears for Lou City, but it's out for a throw. Harris G. Throw this in. So far, St. Louis have had the better of it. They've had the better chances. So far, of course, 2 goals ruled out due to offside. It's been a great game so far. Harris G. tried to find Kadeem Dakers. It was headed away. I think Lexi Zawahi on that far side. And Adewale sends it back to Morton, who clears.
And I would just wonder if Coach Trichu just wants to see maybe a couple more early services from Cicerone and Dakers, because every time they have been able to push the ball wide, they've had to pull it back. Dakers putting it on his left foot, and then Cicerone putting it on his right foot, and that's given Lou City moments to recover defensively, find the layers, and find their marks.
We get to the first half hydration break. Both teams have been at it on both ends so far. It's been very, very exciting stuff. We got the chances here from St. Louis. Both of these went to the back of the net. Both were ruled offside for St. Louis. Here's the first from Gregg off the free kick. But it's offside.
And those set pieces are tough because, as I mentioned earlier, whenever you have that decoy run, the timing just gets a little bit off, and you might just take off just a bit too early. And here in the run of play, great ball in. They're seeing these seams. Like, Kyle Gregg is seeing where the space is, and he's running off the shoulder of the center backs. And then here's the opportunity off Rivas' corner kick. Number of chances, and then a bend here has the last opportunity.
It's a great chance here as well. And a bend who hasn't done a whole lot offensively as far as scoring goals this season. Nearly found the back of the net there. Doesn't matter how they go in, it's that they go in for St. Louis again. What's on the line for them tonight? They need to win to stay tight to Indy 11 for the second and final playoff spot. Only the top 2 from each group go on to the USL Championship playoffs. At the moment, Indy 11 play their next game midweek against Sporting KC2. If they drop points then, St. Louis will still have a chance on the final day. However, they can't know. They're not fortune tellers. So they need to win tonight to make sure that the pressure's on Indy 11 for that game, and to make sure no matter what happens, they can win on the final day and still get in. And of course, the underlying storyline is that the winner of this game wins the final Kings Cup, likely ever. St. Louis has never won it, and if they win tonight, they win the Cup for the first time over Lou City in the 5-year history of the Cup. The previous 4 years, Lou City's won it every year. Can St. Louis win it in the final year as a club? On the Lou City side, a little bit to play for them as well. It's not really a little bit, it's quite a bit. If Lou City gets a point tonight, they win the group, and they get a home game for the round of 16 in the USL Championship playoffs, either against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds or against Hartford Athletic. Back underway here as Brian Ownby finds McMahon. You see the banners around. Obviously, the St. Louligans wish they were here. The ones that are watching, we know you miss it. We know you're going to miss it when this season's over. We know that, of course, there will still be soccer in St. Louis for the foreseeable future after a few years. But one of the cool things in the build-up to this game was finding out that there were St. Louligans fans in Indianapolis watching them get that huge draw against Indy 11. And the first thing Steve Trichu told us was they were loud. You can hear them in a football stadium, all cropped up in a socially distant area, I believe. And you can hear them cheering them on the last 15 minutes to get St. Louis that valuable point to keep their hopes alive, down to 9 men against Indy 11. What a great finish to one of the craziest games of the season so far.
And you could just tell from Coach Trichu and everybody on this team how important this match and making the playoffs means, and winning the Kings Cup rivalry for the fans and for this area. It meant a lot for them to see them at the Indy 11 game. And then, unfortunately not being able to be here tonight, really want the 3 points and really want to win this rivalry game.
Here's Opino, was deflected off of Adewale towards the goalkeeper, Morton, and he leaps highest to collab it and corral it for St. Louis as Camber Lancaster was lurking. Kyler Morton was able to get there first. Besides the shot off the crossbar from Brian Omby, not a ton for Kyle Morton to deal with so far for St. Louis.
No, they've really done a great job of pressing the first person on the ball. You know, really shut down the spaces that they've wanted to. And they've seen a lot of the ball as well, St. Louis has.
Switching the ball towards Kadeem Dakers, who went up for the challenge. St. Louis appeals. Dakers is still down on the far side. Referee didn't think anything of it. Play continues, and then now it's blown to a stop because Dakers was still down. Now the referee is going over to make sure he's okay. Looks like Dakers is telling him he's fine. I think he's more disappointed that he didn't get the free kick.
You wonder how, as this game goes on, you have St. Louis that played a tough match with 2 men down on Wednesday night against Indy 11, where Lou City was idle and didn't have to play in the midweek. You wonder if that's going to play a factor as this game wears on. Now, emotionally, St. Louis wants these 3 points, needs these 3 points. They're going to go after it. But there is something to be said about having a bit of heavy legs here when you're really trying to chase the 3 points.
Adewale heads away. Lovely control by Dakers, was poked away from him. Dakers trying to ram through everybody on that far side, and Zawahi was there defensively, but it's given away by Lou City, and it's back with the home side on the far side. There's Brian, who gets the start tonight with Sam Fink's red card, and obviously no Todd Wharton as well. We mentioned at the top how important he's been this season. Had the game-winning assist in the 3-2 win over Sporting KC2 here on a free kick that Sean Fink, of course, headed in to give St. Louis this opportunity. And of course, the same 2 guys that win that game get sent off in the next game, and now they're not here for this big game, at least not on the pitch. One of the big pluses that Steve Churchill got from the injury front was that Morris Sam is on the bench tonight. He's been out for a little bit with an injury. Another attacking option if St. Louis needs it. G into the middle for Greg, and it's blocked by Tosh and headed back into the arms of Ben Luntz. Another big chance for the man up top for St. Louis.
And with the absence of Wharton and Sam Fink, this back line has stepped up and played very well so far in this first 37 minutes. Within the 40 minutes, transitioning to a back 4, because we know St. Louis typically likes to play that 3-5-2. It really has afforded Paris G and Brian to get in the overlapping runs and get those services in. So, you know, it has really been a positive here in this first half.
Omby, whose shot that ricocheted off the crossbars, Lou City's best attack tonight. All over the top, Lancaster was the target. Kavita let it bounce. Could be dangerous doing that, but got it out of trouble, at least for the time being. Here's Bone. And again. Del Piccolo's shot was scuffed, nearly presented an opportunity for Opino. And it rolls out harmlessly for a goal kick.
Yeah, anytime you miss a player like Sam Fink, such a presence, such a leader, one of the fan favorites here, you really worry about it. But again, with it being such a big game, Coach Trichu talked about it. It was next player up. And they really had that motto throughout the next couple days after the Indy 11 game, is who was going to step up. And again, this back line has really done a tremendous job of limiting the chances for Lancaster, Omby, and Opino.
A poor touch there from Wall Fall. You very, very rarely see him make a mistake like that. Throwing for Lou City. Pressure from a Bend who's been vibrant. I think the entire St. Louis 11 pretty much has been in this first half. Only thing they've missed is the goal. Cicerone Poked away from, I think, by Opano, and one back by Speedy Williams. Here's Del Piccolo. One of the things that gets lost in this great Lou City run, they've won 4 in a row. They're unbeaten in their last 9, and Del Piccolo was injured during that 1-3 start, and ever since he's come back, Lou City hasn't lost. So sometimes just having that captain back in the lineup can change things for a team. Here comes Dakers. Waiting for the overlapping run. He gets it. Could be an opportunity here for Rivas. Takes a deflection. Is it a handball? Appeals to the referee. It's a corner. Rivas was looking for it, and Wall-Fall and Kadeem Dakers joined to take a look at this. We'll take another look for them.
And this is the hold-up play that I've been talking about. Dakers really doing a tremendous job, and then Rivas just letting the play develop. And it really does look like, unfortunately, it looked like it hit a Lou City arm.
So tough to tell where on the arm it hit. I think that's the crucial part of it.
It is, and whether the arm is tucked in or...
Definitely St. Louis has a case there. It's just about where and how it hit the arm. It's going to be a corner, though, for Rivas to take. Towards the near post it goes. Deflected back out for another corner. So it looks like they're trying to find, I believe, Adewale making a near post run. He nearly got a decent head to that. Just couldn't really turn it on goal. And the deflection obviously had something to do with that. Russell Cicerone will have a shot at it here. It's a good ball in. Nobody at the far post to tuck it in. And a miscue, I think, by Opano. It's another corner for St. Louis as the pressure mounts.
Looked like it took some sort of deflection in there in the 6-yard box.
Just kind of bouncing around in there, waiting for somebody to knock it into the back of the net. Rivas again will take. Rivas. A bend was around the back, but Lunt, fortunately for Lou City, got the touch and corralled it. Or it could have been a tap-in. Wall-Fall does really well to win it back from Brian Omby. And has a beautiful ball in for Rivas. Joaquin Rivas over the top. And it's a goal kick.
What a quality ball by Wall-Fall. And these are the moments that I think we would all like to see from St. Louis a little bit more in regards to winning the ball higher up the field in transition. Not just the ball from Wall-Fall, because that was he's been playing quality services in all game, but just winning the ball there at midfield really gives St. Louis an opportunity to kind of hit it just a bit quicker against Lou City and their back line. Because right now, St. Louis, although they're doing a tremendous job defensively, they keep winning the ball and possession at the top of their own 18-yard box, which is, like I said, fine for certain moments, but in that moment, Wall-Fall, tremendous defending, and then even a better ball to Rivas.
The ball over the top here, deflected into the penalty area. Morton had to make sure it didn't hit off the post and come back in. It's a corner for Lou City on the far side.
There's a lot of positive takeaways right now for St. Louis, and you hope that they're not looking back and looking at the 2 offsides calls, the potential PK call, and really own your role here defending this corner kick. And these moments where Lou City is not getting in the rhythm that they'd probably like to be in right now, don't let them in this game on a set piece.
Oscar Jimenez will line this up for Lou City. Morton had to try to poke it away. It's into the back of the net. It's a Lou City goal from a set piece. Not sure who got the final touch, but against the run of play, Lou City lead on enemy territory.
And that's what I was concerned with all the positives that St. Louis has really demanded out of this first half. It's just a set piece that they give at the very end of this half that they just lose track of. You know, they get Kyle Morton outside of the 6-yard box, and then he's backtracking.
I'll tell you what, it's Speedy Williams who got his head to it, I think, just before it went over the line. It was going to be Oscar Jimenez's goal until Speedy Williams touched it over for his 4th goal of the season. And against the run of play, Lou City are in front, and St. Louis have been pushed towards the exit. On the other end here, Jimenez, I should say, backtracking there. Rivas is ruled to be offside.
They're really,
Steve Tritchu can't believe it.
They're making this Lou City back line make some decisions on whether they're playing a little bit higher and pressing, Rivas, and then having to drop back because Dakers is causing problems into space. Greg is doing a great job of hold-up play. Cicerone. So really asking a lot of questions of this Lou City back line. And I still think there's a lot to be had here from the St. Louis side of it. Unfortunate to be down 1-0 here, but have created a number of positive moments.
Another ball over the top here. Headed out for a Lou City throw. How does St. Louis respond? They've had by far the better of the 2 first halves. Had 2 goals ruled out for offsides, and since then, Lou City have taken their chance off the set piece. Nobody picked up Speedy Williams, and it's cost St. Louis here.
The fourth official has indicated 2 minutes.
Stoppage time at the end of the first half, presented by Paycor. Need more time in your business? Contact Paycor to handle your payroll and human resource needs. 2 added minutes at the end of, to be honest, a fantastic first half. St. Louis keep on coming. Here's Dakers. Good challenge there to win it back by Sean Tosh.
With as much praise as I'm giving St. Louis in that attacking and that transitional moments, they are really just missing that final pass. Just that little bit of quality there to finish things off there in the final third.
Kavita. Is there one last attack here in the first half for St. Louis? Dakers tries, and he's offside again. Wow. The offside bug has seemed to bit St. Louis in this first half.
Well, then if you're Coach Tritchu, you've got to be interested to see, do you stay, do you keep everything the same? Do you change the formation a little bit? Do you adjust a few things? Because it has been positive. The energy's there, the willingness to play that front foot and go at Lou City right now in transition.
It's going to be offside, I think. Referee had his arm up, and play continues. St. Louis won it back. Outside of the boot ball, looking for Cicerone. Likely the last attack here of the first half. Cicerone chips it onto his left boot, shoots, and it's saved by Lunt. Omby will clear. And that will be the last act of the first half. Well, if that's any indication, St. Louis is going to keep on coming. They know they have to win to guarantee a last day chance of making the USL Championship playoffs. If they don't win, they'll leave it up to fate. At the moment, at the half, it's St. Louis 0, Lou City 1, with a lot to play for in the second half.
jump right on a big bird, and then I'd fly.
When facing a divorce or other family law matter, you may feel lost and betrayed by those you loved. Although you may feel alone, it's important to have hope. At Stange Law Firm, we limit our practice to family law matters because we understand that nothing is more important than your family. We are there when you need us most. No matter the family law issue, we are here to help you rebuild your life.
Been a great game so far between St. Louis and Lou City. A ton on the line. We're looking forward to the second half. In the meantime, let's hand it over to Devin Kerr for his latest edition of The Dish.
Here we go, The Dish. Kitchen's open. Took 50 minutes to get it going for St. Louis FC, but on the road, Russell Cicerone, 1-0. Everything in Group E really heating up down the stretch, but here's the problem. Yellow for Sam Fink, a second one in the 61st. They spend the final 29 minutes at 10 men. And then the 11 start to battle back. He's only scored twice this season. He's done it both at home. He's done it both times against St. Louis FC. Neville Hackshaw equalizes. Todd Wharton, red card. 9 men for the final 15 minutes of the game. They salvage a point. Indy 11 off on the weekend. St. Louis FC doing battle against Louisville City. It's not a must-win, but it's pretty darn close. Charlotte Independence chasing down Birmingham Legion. This is one of their games in hand. Hosting Miami FC. Watch this. Eto'o Brute? Oh, did I get that quote wrong? No. It's 8-2, I know, but look at Junior Eto'o. Rocket from distance. Mark Pays. What a save. Down to the bottom corner. Back and to the right instead of back and to the left like this one. Couple chances going either way for each squad. You cannot strike this any truer. Valentin Sabella unloads coming off the secondary ball off the corner. Kiss of death from the woodwork. Mark Pays was fantastic all night long. Let's go to Group F. Hartford Athletic hosting Philadelphia Union 2. Hartford Athletic is in the driver's seat coming into this game, controlling their own destiny given the fact that they can get wins when they're supposed to and maybe pick off a point against Pittsburgh. Sam, strong on the near post. 1-0 Hartford Athletic. Turn the page. Paxton Aronson, the recent homegrown product from Philadelphia Union. Good ball back across. Nice little footwork. 1-1. Not the greatest at defending here from Hartford Athletic. Should have gotten 3 points. Only get up a point. If they want to take down the Pittsburgh Riverhounds and get 3 points, it's going to have to be much better. By the way, if they want the #1 seed, they got to beat the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. That's obviously going on tonight. Final game. Los Dos hosting San Diego Loyal. Rubio Rubin, 5 goals in 4 matches. He is one of the 3 reasons, outside of John Kempen and Guido, that this team is currently in second place in Group B. Elijah Martin gets thrown out. Alvarado Jr. at the death of this match, 91st minute, gets the equalizer, keeps his team's hope alive. A lot to be done, some controversy in this group, but the playoffs are right around the corner, and Group B has no clue what it wants to do.
Great stuff as always from Devin. Great stuff as always from the USL Championship. Halftime brought to you by Bacardi. We'll continue after a quick break as we'll get to the news and notes and the upcoming schedule.
What a beauty! It's fantastic! Sensational! Fantastic! Any way you slice it. This one he puts away, fires and scores. What an unbelievable strike. Oh, what a goal!
There's the shot, it scores! Attacking, shooting, and scoring!
Oakland. The town. A world-class city where it's not just about where you're going, but it's also where you come from. See, here, there's always room at the top. Where sky's the limit, but roots help keep you grounded. And this is town business. If you know, you know. Some might say it's rough around the edges,
But we all know that the flavors are in the margins. It's a family affair out here.
it's all eyes on we.
Hold it down for the people holding you up. These things matter to us.
It is let's go Oakland over and over and over again, where East Oakland and West Oakland meet.
Show the town love.
And the town will love you back. Oakland, forever.
Sean St. Jacques, Eric Dobransky back here with you. St. Louis 0, Lou City 1, a game St. Louis pretty much has to win. When we get to the second half, let's take a look at the USL Championship news and notes. 50 career goals now for Camber Lancaster, the 10th ever to do it. What a fantastic season he's had for Lou City.
2 goals against Memphis in their tilt on Wednesday. He just keeps putting them in the back of the net.
Rubio Rubin with a first half hat trick to beat Phoenix Rising on Saturday. How about that for the San Diego Loyal? Landon Donovan's bunch have been pushing hard for a playoff spot in another one of those groups of death. And how about ESPN taking the reins for the USL Championship final?
USL just continues to grow. It's done a fantastic job.
Fantastic to see that get the highlight game at the end of this fantastic season. Big game on Wednesday that St. Louis fans will be looking at. Indy 11 and Sporting KC2. They'll be watching it regardless of what happens tonight, but if it stays this way, they will need Sporting KC2 to either win or draw.
And determine what their matchup on October 3rd looks like.
No question about that. And obviously Hartford trying to finish the season strong. Lou City could end up playing Hartford, so it'll be interesting to see how that turns out in a possible playoff matchup as well. Miami and Charleston, another matchup to watch as well. Take a break here. First half highlights and stats when we come back from Fenton, Missouri.
Do you think he's ready for a debit card?
Mm-hmm.
He's on a roll.
Mm-hmm.
The Greenlight app and debit card makes it easy to manage your kids' money and brings you peace of mind.
He has to do it.
Mm-hmm.
With Greenlight, kids form smart money habits that prepare them for their futures.
Did you know about this?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Greenlight, all the tools you need to raise financially smart kids.
This year we developed Ale d'Or, which is a beer brewed exclusively for the St. Louis Football Club. We've been partners with STLC for coming up on 3 years now. St. Louis Football Club, got some Schlafly, call out our Luligan friends on the side. You'll be able to find Ale d'Or obviously out at Soccer Park and then at your local grocery in and around St. Louis, so we're really excited to get it out there in the market. We're excited to debut it in 16-ounce cans for the upcoming season.
When facing a divorce or other family law matter, you may feel lost and betrayed by those you loved. Although you may feel alone, it's important to have hope. At Stange Law Firm, we limit our practice to family law matters because we understand that nothing is more important than your family. We are there when you need us most. No matter the family law issue, we are here to help you rebuild your life.
Sean St. Jacques, Eric Dobransky back here with you during the Bacardi halftime report. Let's take a look at the first half highlights brought to you by Louisa Foods. It's been a really fun first half, no question about it, Eric. And really, it's been St. Louis from the off that has created all of the chances. They just haven't quite gotten into the back of the net, at least not legally.
Such an encouraging first half if you're St. Louis. creating opportunities, had the 2 called offsides, really defending well and getting shape behind the ball. Here you can see the first offside on the set piece, the decoy run by Cicerone, service in by Rivas, but the run's just left slightly early there. And then here, the service in, just Kyle Gregg getting on the end of it, putting in the back of the net, but again, maybe just even a shoulder length offsides there. And then Ownby here sees St. Louis dropping off, takes a strike of his own, hits that crossbar. And really, other than that Ownby chance, Lou City didn't really find much success in the final third.
Kadeem Dakers, Joaquin Rivas setting up a chance here. Rivas had a really good first half, and Lou maybe a little lucky there to not be able to get a handle on it. But then Speedy Williams around the back scores his 4th goal of the season, and against the run of play, Lou City have the lead.
And this is what a team like Lou City does. They just need that one opportunity. They're not really finding success in the run of play, breaking St. Louis down in the defensive third, and the final third of theirs. But they use a corner kick to get this game in.
Russell Cicerone, we mentioned him at the top. This was his best moment of the first half, but we've seen that St. Louis are going to keep on coming. No question about that. Shots, 12-4 in favor. Let's take a look at the halftime match stats in favor of St. Louis. That is 12-4, but only 2-1 shots on target, and the 1 is the difference.
And really not surprised by the stats because Lou City had possession, really spent a lot of the time passing it along the back line, trying to find space that St. Louis was leaving open. But St. Louis has been so good on that counterattack and in transition. You mentioned it, 12 shots, but only 2 on target. So they're seeing it well. They're seeing the space well. They really just need to convert and find that quality in the final third.
And 3 offsides against St. Louis as well. Those are really the 2 numbers of the first half. The 1 goal for Lou City and the 3 offsides against St. Louis. If 2 of them were allowed, it would be a different story at the moment. Again, recap here what's on the line. If Lou
are technically really unforgettable. I mean, forgettable for the moment in terms of the offsides, the non-PK call that they felt they had inside the 18. So really forget those moments. Focus on the encouraging play you had in the first half and the positive moments you had in the first half. And try to find a goal here in this first 15, 20 minutes of this second half, and then you can find the game winner. So they have the ability, especially here at home. They have 20 goals overall in the season, with 16 of them being here in this stadium.
St. Louis has had to come back so many times to get points this season. The games that come to mind, 2-0 down away at Pittsburgh. They come back to win, or sorry, get a point, 2-2. They were 2-0 up here, lost the 2-0 lead to Sporting KC2, and then won it late through Sam Fink off a set piece from Todd Wharton. The 1-0 down in the dying embers against Sporting KC2 here earlier in the season. Fanuel Kavita with a late equalizer to salvage a point. We've seen the intensity, we've seen the fight back from St. Louis all season. They need to do it again tonight. Sean Tosh out wide here. Wes Sharpie's first touch for Lou City. Ownby tried to fit that in. It was good defending by the back line for St. Louis, and one back by Wall Fall. So Good pass, would have been right on line for Kyle Grango, though it was Speedy Williams who was able to get there and clean things up. He's the difference at the moment. His little nod in at the far post separates the sides. And Eric, you mentioned it, I think while we were off the air. Hadn't mentioned Speedy's name a ton in the first half, but he pops up with a vital goal for Lou City. And remember, Lou City only need a point to win Group B as well. So a little bit extra on the line for them, not just the cup. It's the confirmation of the Cygnus sub there. Sharpie in, McMahon out. Here's Opado for Lou City. Pokes it in behind for Lancaster. And Adewale does really well to clean that up for St. Louis defensively, and he clears it away.
And going back to your thought about Speedy Williams, he's been so busy tracking Rivas this whole game. He hasn't really been impactful on the offensive side, except for the goal on the set piece. So really well done from St. Louis side. There's one thing that other than putting one in the back of the net for St. Louis and being clinical there in the final third, is maybe just trying to find moments where they can win this ball higher up the field. Moments like this is fine. Get numbers behind the ball, defend the wide services.
It's a good ball in here. Centering chance, it could open up here for Opano, and a deflection out for a corner. Adewale there again defensively for St. Louis. Another look at it here.
Those are those wide services we were discussing, really opening up the St. Louis back line, giving them the opportunity to create this corner kick here, and hopefully one that St. Louis can secure.
Similar position at the opposite end of the pitch for Lou City. Morton just about got that away. A shot comes in, and it's deflected off of the 6-yard line. And it'll stay with Lou City on the far side.
It does seem that St. Louis is a little slow here to start the second half. Caught a little off guard. It seems like Lou City's a little bit more eager to find that second goal.
Another ball over the top. And Rich Bryan knew exactly what he was doing there. It's lofted a little higher than I thought it was going to go. I think that he thought it was going to go, but Kyle Morton with the sure hands that time. Adewale. Sends it forward, I think looking for initially Cicerone. Didn't quite get to him. And back by Paris G. Who finds Dakers. Dakers in behind, trying to find Greg. It was a good idea, but too much on it. And easy for Lunt. Jimenez. To Tosh, and this is where Lou City's possession could really start to go into their benefit a lot more.
Well, it looks like to open the second half. It looks like Coach Trichu did stick with the same formation, same setup.
Here's Opano. Tried to find Lancaster. It almost rolled all the way through there. St. Louis is able to clear. Here's Wall Fall to Rivas. Dakers coming over to help. Fall to Dakers. Greg to aim at. It's towards the back post. It's towards Cicerone, and it's over the top. And Lunt can corral.
And those are the services that we talked about a bit in the first half, where Dakers, if he plays the early ball, he's got some separation between Lou City's back line and Lunt, so he can play him into a dangerous space where it's kind of in that no man's land where if Lunt's going to come out or their back line's going to play it out, but he continues to have to pull it back and put it on that left foot.
Harris G was taken down on the far side. Lou City thought they could continue, but Brian Omby, who by the way is on a yellow card, needs to be a little more careful than that, is penalized. He got a yellow very early in the first half, Eric, and have a look at it here. That is something you can't do when you're on a yellow.
Yeah, very careless from Omby. And like you mentioned, he does need to be careful because the last thing you want to do is put your team in a situation where you're playing a player down.
Not sure he meant to do it, obviously, but he clearly gets Paris G, who's trying to figure out if his teeth are still in place. Won't be still getting a talking to from the center referee. Now Plague is ready to get underway. A good ball whipped in. It kind of scaled through. Handball appeals from the St. Louis players. It's not given. G to Bryan. Bryan ready to service this back in. It took another deflection, a handball appeal from Bryan, and nothing's given. Cicerone onto his right boot. Floats it deep into the penalty area. The header is down and it crossed the line. St. Louis appeals for it. The assistant referee says it did not cross the line. It hit the post, certainly. Wall is incensed. We'll take another look.
This is getting tough for St. Louis because they get a great opportunity off a second chance on a set piece while you have all those numbers inside the 18, and you can see clearly it doesn't cross the line and doesn't.
That makes me think that since it's that clearly did not go over the line, was there an appeal for a penalty in there for wall fall? That was not given. And potentially maybe a shirt pull, something like that. Regardless, it's not been given. And Lou City could be off to the races here with Ombi. Cicerone, of all people, back there for a last-ditch tackle. And he is the one that got there first. It's a foul against Lou City.
Again, very fortunate for Ombi not to pick up a yellow, especially on that play.
Another ball over the top, and Lou City nearly fell asleep that time, but it's easy for Lund as Rivas tried to make a run in behind. Boy, the game is livened up again in the last 5 minutes.
Going back to that wall fall opportunity, I agree with you. Maybe there's something that we didn't see in the buildup, that the appeal isn't necessarily that the ball across the line.
Wall fall, I have had the fortunate opportunity of having St. Louis a number of times this season. I've never seen wall fall that upset with a referee over something in a game. He thought for sure either a penalty or something, contact, a shirt pull, something like that. Because like you said, Eric, he clearly didn't cross the line. It was off the post. Williams lines it up. It's blocked by Kavita. Well, if you didn't think this game was going to have the intensity and live up to the hype, you'd be wrong. It's been all that and more so far.
Oh, it's been exactly what we all thought it was going to be.
Given away by Lou City. Kyle Gregg now off to the races for St. Louis, and Sean Tosh cleans up the mess.
So well played by Sean Tosh. Finds himself on an island, 1v1 with Kyle Gregg. Times it well, steps in, wins the ball. But those are those moments, again, not to keep harping on it, but when you win the ball higher up the field, if you're St. Louis, you're finding those matchups and those 1v1 opportunities. It's really going to benefit you in the long run and possibly find the equalizer.
Another ball over the top. Openo is looking for it and gets to it on this near side. Trying to look for Lancaster. Could fall for Jimenez. It's blocked by Adewale. Back to Openo. Bryan does really well for St. Louis defensively and wins a throw-in as well on top of it. It's like another change is in the cards here. It looks like for Lou City. But it looks like Brian Ombi, who was on a yellow card and got a little too physical early in the second half. He's going to make way, and it looks like it's going to be Abdou Jam who comes on.
And I'm not surprised, Sean. I mean, he's played well tonight, and obviously he's played well throughout the season, but there's been moments in this game where, you know, if he has one more tackle or one more exchange with a St. Louis player, he could very well see himself collecting a second yellow, putting his team down a player. So Hackworth not willing to take that chance.
And getting to know John Hackworth as we had over this season, he probably had that thought in his mind like 10 minutes ago. He already had an idea that that was a possibility And he's obviously got the depth to address it, so it is going to be Jam who's on. Clear challenge, I should say clean challenge from Brian on Openo. There's been a lot of physical play that the referee's allowed to go on tonight. Another challenge, a bend goes down. It's getting even more physical now. And now the St. Louis side are asking, is that a red card? You can hear it on the mics on the near side. Referee's thinking about it.
And really a game that didn't see a lot of physicality in the first half. Really just saw two teams trying to, find moments and find that space. Now it's opened up in the second half where it's almost tackle after tackle when these 50-50 balls.
First and foremost, confirmation of the Jam substitution brought to you by Cigna. Ryan Ombie is off. That was a really dangerous challenge on this near side. It's only a yellow card, it looks like.
A yellow card caution has been issued to Louisville City FC number 3.
It's Lexi Zawahi, who has been booked. Tell you what, Eric, I've seen some games where that was a red card, sometimes a straight red. But the way this game has been called, to be fair to the referee, it's been very physical, and a lot of those challenges have been let go, and if it's not something like that, we haven't seen it called really. Here come Lou City again. It's a deflection out. It's going to be a corner on the far side for the road side. Guess it's about now which team can handle their nerve here. It's getting physical. The passion and energy from both sides is coming out. It's everything the King's Cup should be in its final chapter. Again, the King's Cup up for grabs. If Lou City win or draw, they win the cup for the 5th straight year. If St. Louis wins, they win the cup for the first time in club history. Ball is whipped in. Morton kind of punched it away. Back out for another corner. And again, St. Louis in their final season would love nothing more than to lift the King's Cup over their arch rivals. Here's Jimenez. Another good ball in. Morton a lot steadier this time with it, punching it away. Cicerone out only as far as Openo. Here's Lancaster. It's a good ball in, a searching ball in, but it's dealt with by St. Louis, and Wall fall. Outlets it onto this near side for Dakers to chase. It's a good recovery initially, but Dakers wins it back for St. Louis. Advantage is played, says the referee. Dakers, Rivas, who's offside and can't believe it. 4th time St. Louis has been judged to be offside tonight.
And Rivas probably wants that play to his feet just a bit sooner from Dakers. But I think for Dakers, he was waiting to find that split in between the Lou City defenders and get Rivas in running behind. So just a little miscue there. Really good effort by Dakers to win that ball back.
Thought for a moment that Dakers might have been in there. It was an opportunity for St. Louis off a mistake. Another mistake on the near side from the St. Louis pressure. And Brian might have let that trickle out, and then Openo might have fouled him on this near side. The foul is given. Openo is saying the ball went out first. Assistant referee and the 4th official both had a good look at it. It's up to the AR, who didn't have the best of the two looks, but in the end, it's still with St. Louis.
Yeah, I think Openo's thinking that the AR had the call, but there you could just see Lou City's frustrated that they haven't been able to find a rhythm here in this game. Really not connecting passes. Really not playing the way we're accustomed to seeing Lou City play.
Kyle Gregg thought that was shoulder to shoulder. Foul goes against him.
And this is where you can understand Gregg's frustration here. But for somebody that's really important to the outcome of this match, as Gregg is, just walk away from the referee, stay out of the book, and don't get a yellow. You know, he already called the foul. because Greg is a physical forward. So you pick up a yellow, then it really does hinder your opportunities to really push those center backs around for Lou City.
We also apologize for any language that leaks over from our microphones on site. It's getting obviously very heated. You can hear the frustrations and everyone arguing for every call and things like that. It's going to be that kind of a game the rest of the way. St. Louis, of course, to guarantee that they have a shot at the playoffs on the final day, have to win. If they don't, anything else means it's in Indy 11's hands on Wednesday against Sporting KC2, and a win for Indy 11 in that game means that they are going to the playoffs, which is why St. Louis really could use all 3 points. You have a solid game plan for your financial future at Edward Jones. They craft investment strategies that are as individual as you are. Here's Bone. Shot comes in. Morton saved it twice and gobbles it up.
And you could see Coach Trichu is going to make a change here. More Sam. I was wondering at what minute mark did Coach Trichu want to change this game up a little bit. Really seeing the positive play carried over from the first half, but just not the positive result.
Cicerone trying to find G on the give and go. G forced back. Wall, fall to Brian. Great run by Dakers over the top here. Kadeem Dakers! And the shot is saved and held by Lunt.
What a ball in there, and you could see Dakers trying to put it on his left foot. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get that first touch over there, but still created a quality opportunity.
Here comes that change you alluded to. Substitutions brought to you by Cigna. Joaquin Rivas, who to be fair to him has had a great night tonight for St. Louis, just hasn't had the rewards for it. And more Sam, who could have played, Coach Steve Trichu told us, against Indy, but they decided to save him for tonight. He scored earlier this season in the 1-1 draw here against Lou City. More Sam returns from injury tonight, and they could really use a big performance from him off the bench. Lou City get us back underway. If you're just joining us, Speedy Williams headed the ball in the 43rd minute. That's the difference so far. Here's more Sam going towards the penalty area. He's grabbed and pulled and brought down. Thought it was illegal, he thought at least. Referee, as he's done most of the night, has let that stuff go. And it's back with Lou City. Here comes Opino, gets past Brian. Opino to Lancaster. Lancaster fell at the crucial moment there. Thought for a moment he could find the space to his left and maybe have a one-on-one opportunity with the goalkeeper, but couldn't control it. Let's give it away to Fall. And Fall goes down, nothing given. Dakers goes down, and finally a foul is called. And it'll go St. Louis's way.
And you can see why St. Louis is going to start getting really frustrated with these fouls, because they are, Lou City's breaking up the rhythm in which St. Louis is trying to counter them, and they're getting away with breaking up the rhythm without, getting carded and, get put in the book. So this is going to wear on St. Louis a bit, just because they are winning the ball higher up the field. They're doing a good job of really going at the back line, but Lou City's finding those moments to kind of get in a foul and slow up the rhythm.
Sam and Cicerone over this for St. Louis. Can they come up with a chance that could lead to an equalizer? In by Cicerone. The header is down, and it's just a whisker wide. I think Lunt was pretty confident it was going to go wide, but St. Louis, again, with a big opportunity, can't find the target. The pressure could mount here for St. Louis. Kavita wins it back. Not a bad idea there from a bend in the midfield. It's back with Lou City. Openo with a push and a chase. Bryan, though, does well to meet him at the spot. St. Louis is appealing that it went out. Openo is shocked. He thought it was still in. It's going to go St. Louis's way.
And you can see how much this game means to both sides, just with Openo arguing 2 throw-in calls back-to-back, one not called against St. Louis and one given for St. Louis.
Lancaster fouled on the edge of the penalty area by Adewale. And it looks like Wallfall has been booked for dissent. I think it was Adewale who committed the foul, but saw Wallfall yell at the assistant referee earlier. Remember the ball that was nearly scored and hit off the post for St. Louis. Now Wallfall is in the book.
And you hope this game doesn't come down to one of these teams having to play down a player because of either a double yellow or straight red. So you hope that this game can kind of find its rhythm again.
Now there's a bit of a discussion over where the ball is supposed to be for this free kick. Lancaster is over this, and actually they're going to move it. Yeah, I think that was why there was the discussion over where the foul was committed. To be fair, the angle is a little tougher. Not by much, but a little tougher for Lancaster or Del Piccolo.
Almost the same distance that Lancaster had in the first half, where he smashed it right into the wall. This angle might give him a better opportunity to really shape this into that far or near corner.
Not much to aim at, so this looks like it'll be a shot on target. Lancaster steps up. It's a great effort, but it's over the top.
Yeah, good shape on it. It's just always tough to get it up and down from that distance. Lancaster doing a great job of getting close. But with Morton covering that far post, Lancaster really had nothing to take but that near post.
Lancaster scored a sensational free kick at home against Sporting KC2 back on July 29th. That was the last time that Lou City lost a game in the USL Championship. Since then, they've gone 9 games unbeaten. If they do hold on for a point or all 3 tonight, it'll be the 3rd time under John Hackworth that Lou City has gone on a 10-game unbeaten run. All in behind here, bit of an incidental contact between Openo and Adewale. Morton can clear, and then a foul goes against Lou City there as Cicerone went down. Lou City have certainly been, well, to be fair, both teams have been physical, but Lou City have been really trying to slow the tempo down in this second half. In their moments, St. Louis has created opportunities.
Yeah, you said it, Lou City's been very disruptive when St. Louis has started to find some positive moments in the attack.
G to Kavita. Score the winning goal at Maryville with personalized education, nationally ranked academics, and Division II athletics. Learn more at maryville.edu. Maryville, many connections, 1U.
When we talked to Coach Hackworth earlier this week, just even talking about his team going into the playoffs and this match, Kings Cup rivalry, it really is a game that he had mentioned how important the situational football was because of the importance for 3 points for St. Louis. And, you know, they might find themselves in these moments in the playoffs where you're up 1-0 with 20 minutes left, and it's the other team is having to find that equalizer and then having to find the winner. So, you know, situationally, knowing when to press, when to sit, when to shift, those things defensively that really help you close out a game.
Morton there, just on the edge of his penalty area, able to save it and corral it. Again, if St. Louis wants to guarantee a game here against Indy 11 with something on the line, they have to win tonight. If they don't win, Indy 11 has to lose or draw on Wednesday against Sporting KC 2. And then the final game here for St. Louis of the season and of the franchise will be against Indy 11. It looks like a yellow card here for the foul against Fanuel Kavita. A dangerous opportunity for Lancaster, who's still down for Lou City.
You're absolutely right when you reference the 3 points. The 3 points and the win guarantee St. Louis to control their own destiny moving forward into the playoff hunt. If they find themselves dropping points here, then they are going to need help from Sporting KC2. And here you can see the foul against Lancaster.
You wonder who actually made the touch on Lancaster there. Adewale was certainly in the area. But it's the captain, Kavita, who's been given the yellow card. They both could have touched him, to be fair, but you can't split a yellow. So only one's getting it, and it's going to be the captain, Kavita.
And distance and location-wise, this really puts Lou City in a promising position. Puts you a good 25, 30 yards out and center on frame. And with the weapons that Lou City has with Lancaster, Opino, Del Piccolo, they have so many options on who takes this set piece from this angle and this distance. I think even Speedy Williams is an option as well with how accurate he is.
Initially, it was the substitute Jam who was on it. Then Williams came over. Lancaster's there as well. Lancaster takes it, and again, it's a good effort, but it's off target. Just hasn't quite gotten it right tonight from his set pieces. Adewale under some pressure from Lancaster.
You just hope this isn't going to be a game that St. Louis is going to look back at as missed opportunities.
Back here.
Because they have been very encouraging and very promising in the attack. Just hasn't materialized to a goal.
As we head into our second half hydration break here. Lou City still holding on to a 1-goal advantage over St. Louis. Here's how they scored it in the first half from the head of Speedy Williams.
In 14, out. We got 14 in.
Doing such a tremendous job in the run of play. St. Louis just lost focus there on a set piece. And Kyle Morton had started his stance kind of higher up in the 6-yard box and really set himself up higher. And then that in-swinger really just caught all of St. Louis off guard.
That was definitely against the run of play, that goal from Speedy Williams, his 4th of the season. But since then, we've seen some bursts from St. Louis, but certainly not the first 40 minutes that we saw where St. Louis really could have been 3-0 up. They were playing that well. 2 goals from Kyle Gregg were chopped off for offside. And there were about 4 or 5 other pretty good opportunities at least for St. Louis. It looks like they're going to make another roll of the dice here.
Substitution for St. Louis FC. Leaving the game,
like
number 13.
Kadeem Dakers will make way, and Tyler Blackwood, joint team leading goal scorer, will come on. Substitution brought to you by Cigna. And it is St. Louis's really last big roll of the dice as far as attacking is concerned.
And if you're Coach Tritchu and you're going to roll the dice, you're going to go with Blackwood, who's tied on their team and leading with 5 goals with Cicerone. So why not have a front line that accounts for half of your goals for the season, with Cicerone and Blackwood having 10 combined and the whole team having a total of 20.
Here comes Lou City. Oh, might have taken a deflection as it went through. Assistant referee says no, it's a goal kick.
You just can't count this St. Louis team out because, like you mentioned earlier, they've really become known for that this season. Those late heroics. I mean, you just go back to that Sam Fink goal in stoppage time to secure the 3-2 win. I mean, those are comebacks that, you know, and situations that their will and their spirit is really highlighted. So you know, even with 12, 13 minutes left in this match, plus stoppage time, you know St. Louis is going to keep fighting.
Here they come again. It's a good ball in for Blackwood, who kept it alive and across the face of goal. Kyle Gregg just out of his reach. And it's headed out for a Lou City throw on the far side. And here comes a change for Lou City. Cigna substitution here, Corbin Bone, who had a ton to do tonight for Lou City. He'll make way, and Akil Watts will come on for John Hackworth's team. Corbin Bone been told that the slower he walks, the more likely there'll be time added on at the end. So whatever that's worth, he still took his time to get off, and Watts enters the fray for Lou City.
Yeah, substitution that sees fresh legs come into the midfield. Help maybe see this game out. Maybe deny Wallfall that opportunity to play those brilliant balls into the final third that he has played throughout this 79 minutes.
And Lou City are taking as much time now as they can. Out for a throw. Add Bacardi Superior Rum to the cool crispness of freshly squeezed lime and mint on ice. You've just created a refreshing original Bacardi Mojito, the perfect rum cocktail for sunset and other magical moments. St. Louis is going to need at least one of the magical moments here. They want to get back into this one. They've done it before. We talked about it, especially here. They have been able to come back so many times this season. They've done it on the road too. Just ask the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Here comes more Sam. He has Tyler Blackwood with him. Sam keeps on going. It's deflected and Lunt is there. Great defensive stand there for Lou City, and I think it was Speedy Williams who made up the ground.
And again, an opportunity to send in an earlier service, really just an earlier pass, and it seems to just get caught on the foot of Sam. Blackwood really timed his run well and really didn't want to see that ball in the run of play there.
Got a play off of Jimenez, who made a mistake on this near side. You can hear the St. Louis team showing their support. Any little glimpse could be helpful at this stage. 10 minutes to go. St. Louis needs 2 to guarantee a final day that's worth something for the playoffs. And the King's Cup, of course, on the line as well. Foul appeal on the near side. Sam went down. Nothing given here. And it's going to be a throw-in for Lou City. There's been a lot of those contentious moments tonight. Have a look at it here.
Yeah, this second half, and Coach Tritchu and his group have, that had to be a yellow card. That had to be a call. I understand their frustration there. Didn't get any part of the ball.
We've talked about the referee trying to make it a free-flowing game, but have to say that's one of the ones we can't really defend. That was all man, no ball. But St. Louis keeps on coming here. It's cleared away initially, out as far as a bend.
It's interesting coming from a first half that didn't see challenges like that for a referee, but you have to be ready to adjust to those and understanding what's at stake and the rivalry and the playoff implications. So knowing that this was probably going to heat up just a notch or two as this game wore on, and especially as this scoreline stayed the same. So, like I said, unfortunately, I agree with Coach Tritchu and his players and staff that needs to be a set piece, even possibly a yellow card.
Cleared by G. Blackwood does well to try to keep that in and keep it alive, keep the pressure on. Wallfall comes over to take it. Kavita.
A little bit more urgency to get there in the final third. With these water breaks and these hydration breaks now, you do know there's going to be at least 3 or 4 minutes added stoppage time. So you're not in a rush necessarily, but you do need to be urgent with your play, with the restarts. Because if you can find one here before the 90-minute mark, and then you make stoppage time a lot more interesting.
Adewale does really well defensively there against Camber Lancaster and wins a throw.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This needs to be a little bit more urgent. I know it's late in the game and you're tired.
You didn't need it and you wanted it, so there you go.
But you need to go. You need to start moving this ball up the field. Because Lou City will take this all day.
Bryan to Blackwood. Openo does well to keep it in. It'll be a Lou City throw on the near side, last off of Rich Bryan. Bit of a slip there, I think, from Speedy Williams, but Lou City holds onto it. And then gives it back. Miscommunication with Openo on the near side.
You wonder if that midweek game and the intensity of having to play 2 players down against Indy 11 for a significant amount of time, you wonder if that's starting to wear on this St. Louis team, and you really see the fatigue. Even just a simple 10-yard pass just kind of got away from them. Again, you can't question the will and the spirit of this team because they've just been battling all season for late points. They're really just looking for one opportunity.
I feel like if St. Louis can get one, it could really give them a chance to maybe save themselves here. If they don't, it's up to Indy on Wednesday. And if Indy wins, they're in. It's one of those things that Steve Tritchu's talked about. He wants it to stay in St. Louis's hands going into the final day. They will be out of their hands if they can't find 2 here. If they find 1, it still wouldn't be enough to guarantee final day here at the West Community Stadium will have playoff implications. And of course, a draw would give Lou City the Kings Cup as well on goal differential. Ball in behind for Tyler Blackwood, who scored at Lou City earlier this season. The cross is cleared away. Lou City bring it forward. Ball in behind for Lancaster. Bryan tries to control it. Lancaster wins it. I believe he's won a corner as well. It was last off of Bryan.
And if St. Louis can go ahead and salvage this point and get the draw, you know, Sporting KC has had a lot of good moments throughout the season, and Indy 11 is a team that is really struggling to see this season out and really collect the amount of points they needed to secure second in this Group E. So it's really not a matchup that, you know, you look at, you could see Sporting KC2 taking points there.
Sporting KC2 certainly aren't going to stop playing the way they're playing just because they're eliminated. Remember, they gave St. Louis a really good game here, basically with no shot left. Well, they had a slim chance at that time, but you know Paulo Nagamura's bunch, they're going to fight no matter what the circumstances are, as are Steve Tritchu's boys as well. They still have 3 minutes here, plus stoppage time. If they're going to pull it off, they need the first one to come sooner rather than later. It's off the referee here, it looked like. St. Louis wanted to get on with it. Referee calls it back.
And these are also these moments where, if you're St. Louis, you're going to start seeing Lou City trying to end this game and close out this game with substitutions. Really try to eat up 30 seconds to a minute each time. And that's where those 5 substitutions really play a factor here late. Although they do have those substitution windows.
Wally over the top for Blackwood, whose touch kind of lets him down there. Greg sticks a boot there to try to keep it alive. It's Lou City who come away with it. It's a St. Louis throw. Looks like a substitution will take place first, and Camber Lancaster will be withdrawn. Another Cygnus substitution here. And Luke Spencer will enter the fray.
Leaving the game number 17, Cam Lancaster.
Luke Spencer played against Memphis 901 last time out. It was the first time he was on the team sheet since becoming a dad.
In the 89th minute.
So the new father, Luke Spencer, comes on for the last few moments here of the 90 in stoppage time as Camber Lancaster gets a lot of congratulations from the bench. It's a St. Louis throw from Kavita. Towards Tosh. We're in the final minute of the 90, we're told. See, we'll wait for the confirmation, but we're told there's going to be 4 added minutes. Can St. Louis get one back here? Here's Parrish G. It's a good ball in, headed towards Cicerone, and then it's further headed on towards Kavita. Cicerone, good challenge there on the outsides of the penalty area, sends Kavita back. Kavita looking for G, heads it centrally and it's cleared away, only as far as Bryan. G, trying to put that ball in centrally, could fall for a chance here. Cicerone onto his left boot, and it's blocked. Cicerone, though, doesn't give up on it. And it's out for a corner on the far side as we enter the 4 added minutes. Stoppage time presented by Paycor. Need more time in your business? Contact Paycor to handle your payroll and human resource needs.
Handle your payroll and human resources needs.
Kyle Gregg will take it. It comes towards the back post, and Awale couldn't quite get to it. Cicerone is offside. Goodness me, if that doesn't sum it up for St. Louis tonight, I don't know what does. And pardon me, Cicerone took the kick as well, and then it came right back to him. He was in an offside position. 5th time St. Louis called offside tonight.
You still have moments here where you can get this ball forward, and really you're not looking to break down Lou City with combination play or link-up play here. You're really looking to find a second ball, so challenging a first one sent in and jumping on a second ball that might fall fortunately to you in a good situation. So really just need to find a moment on this ball and play it forward.
Here's Openo for Lou City. Thinks better of it and runs to the corner initially. He gets into the penalty area here, Openo. Could be a chance for Spencer, and it's blocked by Adewale. It's been crucial tonight. Greg leapt leapt over the top of. Referee lets that one go. Lou City keeps on coming here. Now they'll go to the corner. It's a goal kick. 2 minutes for St. Louis to at least salvage a point. If they want to salvage the cup, they need a miracle. Falls over the top. Falls to G, who sends it over the top. Sam couldn't quite get there. Tosh clears. Here's Spencer. Now Spencer in behind, and probably for his hold-up play. It's one of his best attributes. Del Piccolo. Jimenez. In for Watts. Adewale's great game continues. He shepherds it out for a goal kick.
They're going to have one more opportunity here if they can get it into Lou City's half. Commit numbers, those are that second balls that I was talking about earlier that really need to fall fortunately to St. Louis's feet.
Morton well off his line to give St. Louis one more heave forward here. Towards wall fall, it falls for G. It's a decent ball in here, big opportunity, and it's scuffed wide. That was the moment. And Cicerone couldn't hit the target. If St. Louis had any chance, this needed to go in.
It was the moment, and they created it, and if there was a player that you wanted on the end of it, it'd be Cicerone. 2 goals in 2 games right now.
Luke will clear this. Referee blows for full time. What an effort from St. Louis, but for the 5th and final time, Lou City win the King's Cup. It's a 5-year sweep for Lou City, and now it's in Indy 11's hands on Wednesday. If they win, they're in. If they draw or lose, St. Louis get one more chance here against Indy 11 next week to save themselves and get to the playoffs. We take a look at tonight's Pleats man of the match. Toby Adewale defensively was just fantastic in defeat tonight.
They were in a back line that was missing Sam Fink. Did a tremendous job in the run of play. Just that one set piece, that one corner that Speedy Williams got on the end of, but really tremendous play from Adewale.
It's man of the match again, presented by Pleats Cleaners. There he is, Toby Adewale. Man of the match presented by our broadcast crew. Follow St. Louis FC on Twitter to vote for the Pleats Man of the Match fan poll. Take a quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap things up. St. Louis falls by a 1-0 to Lou City.
So how is it?
Great.
Do you think he's ready for a debit card?
Mm-hmm.
He's on a roll.
The Greenlight app and debit card makes it easy to manage your kids' money and brings you peace of mind.
He has to do it.
With Greenlight, kids form smart money habits that prepare them for their futures.
Did you know about this?
Thank you. Greenlight, all the tools you need to raise financially smart kids.
Sean St. Jacques, Eric Dobransky back here with you. Edward Jones presents tonight's final score. St. Louis 0, Lou City 1. As we take a look at the highlights at the end of this one. And Eric, it was such a valiant effort from Lou City. They threw everything at it, especially in the first half. They created so many chances, but first look here is at Brian Ownby's strike. This is when Lou City started to get a little bit of a foothold in the game in the first half.
And really one of the most dangerous opportunities they created, and it was one from distance, really not from that wide areas. Like you mentioned, St. Louis, really such an encouraging start, and this was the moment. And there was a couple moments before this set piece that you and I were thinking St. Louis was going to break them down and find that goal, and then they give up that corner, and that in-swinger finding Speedy Williams really hurt. And then the second half, St. Louis again, a lot of encouraging play. Wall fall here. Getting on the end of it after a second chance on a set piece as well. And then this last chance, Cicerone. 5 goals on the season. Really needed it to be 6.
That was the last chance, but in the end, St. Louis fall to Lou City. It's Lou City's Kings Cup for the 5th time. We take a look at the full match stats here. Really was a great game, you have to say. These two, for the final chapter, obviously St. Louis fans won't want to hear this. This was one of the best games between these two this season. Lou City, in the end, wins Group E. They win the Kings Cup, and St. Louis has nothing to be ashamed of. They fought, as they always did, to the end. They just couldn't get the ball over the line without getting called offside.
Such a valiant effort from St. Louis, and I know they're still going to be very disappointed, and unfortunately their playoff hopes are not in their hands anymore. They need Sporting KC2 to get a result against Indy 11 on Wednesday, but those 6 offsides were really crucial when you look at it. You were hoping that they could kind of overcome those, but they just weren't.
What a fantastic game tonight. St. Louis falls to Lou City by a 1-0. Lou City wins the Kings Cup, and they win Group E. Fantastic game it was. Lou City and St. Louis in Group B, the final chapter of the Kings Cup. It was down to a knife edge for Eric Dobransky and our entire crew. I'm Sean St. Jacques saying so long. Lou City wins the Kings Cup. They win Group B. St. Louis waits on Indy 11.
Copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.